Raina, that cheese was horrible. I still can't get over it. It stayed in my throat all night.
I love that cheese.
It stayed in my throat as long as the election coverage.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
New president! What other noise can I do?
A lot of you guys have been asking who we're voting for. And now you know.
Finally reveal. No. Guys, we are coming to you
at the end of a journey.
But on Sunday, before this episode airs...
We did an episode on Friday.
We tried. Friday we tried. We were stupid to know how the tone would. Well, I don't know.
We were different people back then.
We were different people. Yeah, that was.
We were sad then.
Pre-Biden-Harris in the White House in 2021.
Yeah.
So we wanted to come back in and really give it to you guys updated as fuck and let you know how we're feeling. We're going to get into it. This isn't going to be like a drag Donald Trump episode.
Nope.
He's done enough. He drags himself.
Yeah, it's enough. Honestly, I got to Ashley's day and she's like, we're going to do a whole new episode.
We got to redo it. So, but this is what you guys wanted. You want to hear how we're feeling in the moment. If you're listening on Monday, it's yesterday. So this is as close as you'll honestly ever get.
Thanks to Ashley, first of all.
Yeah. Raina goes, what are you doing today? I was like, bitch, what am I doing today? First of all, I have to chop up what we did, see what we can salvage. Then you got to come over and then I got to edit all night.
I'm going to go to brunch.
What am I doing today?
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp Therapy Online. For 10% off your first month, go to betterhelp.com/GGE. So we all carry around different stressors, big and small, throughout life. And when we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us really negatively. And therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and figure out how to work through whatever is weighing you down. And sometimes we can have journals and self-talk and friends and family that help us, but it is really, really helpful to talk to a therapist outside of that, and they can empower you to be a better version of yourself and set boundaries and work through whatever is going on with you personally, professionally, in your love life, with friends. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. So you'll just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime at no additional charge. I absolutely love what they're doing, and they make it so simple. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GGE today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GGE.
Okay, we're going to talk about the election. We just have a couple very quick housekeeping things to run through so we can give it our full attention.
Okay. Do you want to announce what's happening?
Yeah, so we are having our holiday stupid live stream show on Sunday, December 13th. It will be 9 p.m. Eastern time. Mark your calendar. Tickets are not on sale yet. Sorry. It's not ready. But look out later this week on our social media, and we're going to post a ticket link. So tickets should be live soon. Everything's just not ready yet, but we know the date. We know the time. Fun stuff planned, some stuff still pending. We'll give you more details as they come, but you guys will be able to get those tickets soon. So just follow along on Girls Gotta Eat podcast on Instagram, Ash Hess on Instagram, Raina.Greenberg on Instagram, and those links will be posted this week. And then we'll make an official announcement next Monday on that episode about them being on sale, but mark the date.
Start your group chat. Tell all your friends to come over. You always have that one friend that sends a calendar invite for plans. I'm that friend because Ashley doesn't know how to.
I can't send calendar invites.
That's okay. You have lots of other good qualities. So just send that calendar invite. Get your charcuterie boards ready. We're going to talk about my charcuterie board this week.
Why are you saying it like that? It's charcuterie.
Charcuterie. Get your Jared Freed memes ready. And yeah, we're really excited to see you guys. It's not Carnegie Hall like we planned it, but it's even better to get to be with even more of you.
It's not Radio City, but it is what it is. So yes, Sunday, December 13th. STD. That's save the date, if you guys didn't know.
I didn't know.
Tickets will be on sale soon. Follow us on Instagram. You should be anyway. Whatever.
What are you guys doing? We just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for buying so much merch this week. You guys stormed the new store. We are so proud of the new stuff. We had a fantastic designer, Alyssa, help us with everything. We have all new everything. We have cute joggers and sports bras and blankets and just all new designs for the sweatshirts, which is what you guys have been loving buying. So thank you so much. And we're so proud of the new stuff. Keep buying it. In terms of dates, we told you we'd keep you informed. It seems like everything is going out on time and great. You
it's
know,
going quick.
It's the first
time I saw someone tag me in something, I was like, this shit just went on sale. Does she make this herself? No, it's going quick. I mean, it's no Amazon Prime. Don't get it twisted, but it is like they're doing good.
They're doing good. We don't want to promise everybody's getting their stuff in 48 hours. We are a small business and we print everything to order, but the shipping times have been great. We will get you guys holiday deadlines as soon as we have them. But for now, just keep on ordering, and we're excited to see you guys in the merch. I'm wearing one of the throwback merch shirts that says I literally don't care.
Yeah.
But we have new I literally don't care shirts. It's our #1 seller.
Yes. The Dewey mug is not selling as much as we had hoped. I recommend.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah. How do you guys want the Dewey mug?
What are you drinking your coffee out of the morning?
I will anybody that buys the Dewey mug and tags me in an Instagram store, I'll repost 100% of them.
Ashley will be your friend.
100%.
She's friends with most of you.
Listen, let's get into it.
Let's get into what's happened this week.
Our journey started on Tuesday. It ended on Saturday. Yeah, so your apartment. We'll get to that. We have a whole thing. We're going to talk about the election night gathering.
Yes, I want to congratulate you because you have a new love, and I'd like to congratulate in the same token the real star of the election, John King.
John King, who I miss already.
He's still there.
I know he's there, but like not in the same way, not with his magic wall, like not with his hands all over that wall. Like, okay, we just got to hand it to all of the newscasters, with the exception of maybe like one network, that just tirelessly covered this election that lasted so many days. Like, when were they sleeping? Like, I was like, what is John King doing? Is he just like snorting Adderall in the back and like taking hour breaks here and there and getting back out there to the wall?
He always looked impeccable.
He didn't even look tired
at all. And every night I went to sleep, you know, like the whole week, me and the rest of the country, I went to sleep every night with my phone next to me, and I just picked up the phone first thing in the morning. I was like, oh God, did anything bad happen? Because I told you, you have to text me if anything bad happens. Yeah. Every night I went to sleep to John, and I woke up to John.
You did, because you go to bed earlier. I went to sleep with Chrissy C and Don Lemon every night. They come on at like 11 p.m. till 3. So, but I just have to say, how did we all of a sudden as a country come together to get so wet over these map daddies, the chart throbs, as you will? I know some of you guys love Steve Kornacki over at MSNBC. He's great too. We were team John King, but both of them, you know, the country can come together and agree that they were both great. We don't need to choose a winner for that. But I mean, CNN's zaddies are unmatched.
Jake Tapper, if you're listening, you can tap this anytime.
Yeah. Jake Tapper can tap it.
He's just, I love his level of snark. You don't even really see it coming.
Because he's a Philly guy.
He's just, right. I love Pennsylvania
He's so
people.
Philly. I saw a meme that said, Philly has the best fuck around and find out energy. Like, is that not, that's my new thing. Fuck around and find out. That's his energy.
That's his energy.
When you watch CNN and you watch it for a long time and you're watching Jake Anderson, John King, Chrissy C, Don Lemon, Van Jones. Who am I missing? Oh, and of course, we got to hand it to the OG Wolf.
Do you think Wolf fucks good? His name is Wolf.
Wolf Blitzer?
You have to fuck good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel like there's a sex move could be called the Blitzer.
I feel the same way about being named Wolf that I do about spitting in people's mouths. Like, if you're the kind of person that's spitting in mouths, you have to be good at fucking. You can't be average. You can't have a name like Wolf Blitzer and be an average lay.
Yeah.
All right. I have an important thing to ask you to kick off this episode. I'm very excited about this episode. We're going to do election. We're going to do Bachelor. We're going to do dating stories. We're bringing back an old school game. But yes. I have an older school game to ask you a question about the news. And I was thinking, who do I play this with? But now I know. Okay.
Obviously.
So we're going to play Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
John King, of course. Daddy Chris. Junior Daddy Chris Cuomo.
No, Zaddy Chris.
Zaddy Chris
it's
Cuomo.
Daddy Andrew and Zaddy Chris.
And Anderson Cooper if he was straight.
Oh my God.
I know.
Okay. Jake, Chrissy, Anderson. Or John,
John,
Chrissy, Anderson.
Straight Anderson.
Jake's not in there?
Straight Anderson.
Jake, how'd you not put Jake in there? Jake's kind of my number one.
Jake Tapper is
I think Jake Tapper's hot.
Jake Tapper is your
and
number one.
I don't even like older looking guys. I mean, there's no like young guys. Actually, I love their little fact checker. He's so nerdy cute. Okay,
he's not in it though.
Okay. Anderson Cooper is a beautiful man.
Do you know about his family history? He's tremendously rich. He's like one of the oldest, wealthiest families in New York City. Comes from.
Oh shit!
Like billionaire status.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I feel like there's.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna fuck Chrissy.
No competition.
Well, I want to see how he fucks.
Yeah, that guy is picking you up, slamming you into a wall.
Yes, he is getting nasty with it. He's gonna do a little choking, a little ass smacking.
Have you seen him without a shirt
he might
on?
Spit in your mouth.
Ooh.
The Cuomo brothers can get it. Okay. I think I can't kill Andrew. Like, I guess I would just. I feel like I want to marry John King. So by default, I have to kill Anderson. I can't. Anderson Cooper, I live for.
But I'm marrying Anderson Cooper.
Okay.
Because he's so rich.
Okay.
And
I know.
So
I just
hot.
I'm so.
You can't separate from Johnny King.
I can't like go off brand from what I've been doing all week on my coverage of John King. John King's been covering the election. I've been covering John King. But okay. Speaking of things that get me wet.
Yeah. Let's talk about our week.
I want to shout you out for what you did on election day, election evening.
Mm-hmm. It's been a week. So the week started out with a couple of our friends, a very small gathering in my apartment on election night. It's not a Raina Greenberg party like normal, but
there was no
people there.
No, but like my favorite thing you do is like a photo booth with like streamers, and you asked me, you were like, should I do it? I'm like, bitch, first of all, there's 5 people coming over. Please do not. We cannot have a step and repeat for the election.
First of all, it would never be a Raina Greenberg party without a Party City balloon bouquet. So shout out to Party City. Sure, here we are. I did a giant balloon bouquet. It was humiliating walking down the street with those. But I did do a charcuterie board that I submitted to Jared Freed.
Why are you saying it wrong?
Why is it? It's charcuterie. That's how you say it.
We say charcuterie now on this
Okay,
podcast.
I'm not leaning into that, okay? This is serious. I did want to give people just kind of like a break from election coverage. I mean, enough people are covering it outside of me. You guys didn't need me. So I covered charcuterie coverage that day. I made a beautiful board.
2 boards.
I over-purchased.
They were so stunning. And if you guys don't know this, Jared Freed, our Lord and Savior, he is the board lord. He rates charcuterie boards. So if you're not familiar with him, no big deal. But this is this comedian and guy we love that like rates and judges and critiques charcuterie boards on Instagram. And what he said about yours, first of all, he had nothing to critique besides the olives and the pits, whatever. He said, I want to shout out Raina for her very nice attempt. Very nice attempt.
Is that the nicest thing he's ever said?
But he can't, like, I DM'd him, responded to it, and I said, very nice attempt, ha ha ha. Like, and he just wrote back the like sunglasses, like shade emoji. Like, he's never given like an A+. That's not a thing he does.
No, he keeps me wanting more.
Yeah.
He keeps me in the game.
He really still give you a great rating, but he could not say like, this is beautiful, this is incredible.
I want to say my board was beautiful. I overshot.
Very fine meats on both sides.
I overshot. I got a good variety. It was great. Everybody was happy. All like 2 people that were with us.
Girl, that one cheese, I still can taste it.
I like that cheese.
What was that? Andrew Collin took a whiff and thought he was going to throw up.
I love that cheese. It's like it's a consistency of brie. The rind is a little funky.
I will tell you what, the fact that it looks like brie and you think you're going to get brie and what you get is like blue cheese on steroids is so offensive to me. It needs to apologize to me. Raina, that cheese was horrible. I still can't. I can't get over it. It stayed in my throat all night.
I love that cheese.
It stayed in my throat as long as the election coverage.
Listen, I'm bankrupt now. I spent like $150 on a charcuterie board for you guys because I love you so much. I got balloons. I still haven't deflated them yet. They're just going to live there. But it was nice. It wasn't a Raina Greenberg normal party, but it was, it was good enough.
There's a few of us getting together and then we parted ways and the election lasted for 5 more days.
Every night this week I went to sleep and told you that you were in charge of monitoring it and letting me know if I had to wake up upset.
Like when we go on trips and you have to monitor the plane. That was me. I monitor the coverage up until 3 a.m. every night.
Ashley runs runs the business and monitors the news until 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'm the night shift.
Yeah, you did great, sweetie.
But yeah, so we don't have to tell you guys. We were all there. You know, news was on nonstop. We already talked about our CNN zaddies, but I want to talk about Saturday. Oof. 2 days ago.
A day which will live in my heart forever.
And just share, people will always remember this day for whatever reason. But I thought we could talk about our experiences. Mm-hmm. And I just have to say that Saturday morning, obviously I wake up, I lay in bed, I look at what's going on. I'd maybe check Instagram, look at Twitter. Saturday morning, I woke up and we didn't know yet that Pennsylvania had flipped. I'll let you pop off about that. We didn't know what was going on, but what was trending on Twitter was Four Seasons Total Landscaping. And Raina, nothing has been funnier to me in my entire life. I saw a tweet that said we haven't fully grasped the humor in Four Seasons Total Landscaping. I was like, what is this? Trump had tweeted big press conference today at 11 a.m. at Four Seasons Philly. Four Seasons Philly comes in. Hello, we're not doing this. We're not associated with this. He deletes his tweet, comes back on. The press conference is at Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
I'm so glad you brought this up because just so you guys, behind the scenes, I walked in the apartment. I go, Ashley, I need you to explain this to me because I thought it was a joke.
Okay. I can't, the tweets alone, and then people started showing photos of Four Seasons Total Landscaping. It's just like a business in a strip mall or a shitty office park outside of Philly between a sex toy store, like an adult store, and a crematorium. People were like, of course, this is how his presidency ends, with Giuliani in the parking lot of a landscaping business between the sex shop and the crematorium.
I can't believe this happened. I thought this was like the Pornhub John King hoax.
No, they set it up. They had to commit to it. They just taped up a few Trump signs behind a podium in this parking lot.
What if you and I thought we were performing at the Four Seasons? We got all of our little girls to come out there. We got to a strip mall. We were just in the dirt. Hey guys, welcome to Girls Gotta Eat.
Did you see?
So embarrassing.
I laid in bed last night and I was fully convulsing with laughter, not able to sleep about this. My favorite tweet I think I saw was the one that said, hold on, was a picture of it. It's just this, normal business. And it said, after 2 weeks of multiple health screenings and asking everyone to quarantine, I surprised my inner circle with a trip to Four Seasons Total Landscaping, where we could pretend things were normal for just a brief moment in time. Which, if you don't know, that's a callback to Kim Kardashian's private island birthday. I can't get over it. If you think about how fucking funny it is, what a joke, honestly, what a joke this presidency has been on a lot of levels. And it ends that they booked the wrong place. Here, most people are saying that some White House staffer just was stupid enough and just called the wrong Four Seasons, and then someone just let it fly at the Four Seasons Total Landscaping. My original thought was that, and I think I'm wrong now, but I don't know, that Trump tweeted out, we have a presser at the Four Seasons, and then they didn't, and that was a lie, and then they had to sort of figure out what to do. I don't think that's what happened. Most people are saying that whoever booked this made a mistake because they're just, this is like Kellyanne Conway saying she thought COVID-19 was COVID-19 because there was 18 other COVIDs before it. These people are idiots. And to see Giuliani in the parking lot of Four Seasons Total Landscaping talking about how the election was fraudulent and that it's not over yet was the best thing I've ever seen.
I can't wait to watch the people that organized this event. I want them to organize the recount because that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I thought this was a joke.
And I got to tell you, so much Four Seasons Total Landscaping merch available. A lot of people are selling Four Seasons Total Landscaping merch, and the profits are going to benefit the runoffs in Georgia in January. Or they're going to Stacey Abrams' organization, who, by the way, Stacey Abrams is our person of the week. We're going to bring it back. Stacey Abrams, thank you for all that you do, mobilizing all these voters, turning Georgia blue. If they're still counting, we don't know what's going on down there, but huge. She's our person of the week. Want to say it, put it on wax. I can't get over it.
I can't get over it. I've been stuck on this whole Rudy Giuliani thing all week because I don't understand how it happened to him with the Borat movie. I don't understand how his staff didn't figure out that was what was happening. Because, okay, I used to work at this restaurant. It's up by Central Park. And every time it's by like the Plaza Hotel and all of these like high-end hotels. So every time,
by the Four Seasons.
Yeah, actually by the Four Seasons. Every time a political candidate specifically would come into the restaurant, they would have like 50 staffers also come into the restaurant to check security.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people go to these venues ahead of time to make sure that everything is like correct. Like there's so much put into making sure these people are safe, taken care of, protected. Like how did this happen?
Right.
I don't understand.
I can't and it's so funny because people were like, shout out to the person that answered that call and didn't correct them. Instead, they just booked a press conference in their parking lot.
Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out. Philly, go off. Also, I cannot wait to stay at the Four Seasons Philly for popping off about, we don't know this. We don't know him.
We don't know.
So that was my favorite thing. And then I'll tell how the next hour went, and then I want to kick it to you. That's how I woke up. Not fully grasping the hilarity of this. I'm like, of course this is happening, but like, what's going on? And that's all I saw news-wise. I put Dewey on his leash and we went out for his walk. And I didn't have my phone. I hadn't turned on CNN yet for the day. I was missing John King already, but I was like, I'm just gonna not look yet and just start the day in a minute. Gonna walk Dewey, get my mind right, go get a coffee. I walked out of my building and I just heard screaming, and I heard people screaming, and then I heard pots and pans banging like the way people did for the medical workers.
And did you read I can't believe they're bringing it back?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh,
Sundays at 11, we just do that.
I gotta tell you, Andrew Collins said the mailmen are the new medical workers because the way people were popping off about the USPS. So, and then I see people are just going crazy and they're running around, and it just happened. They just heard, and people are opening their windows. They're screaming out into the streets. I'm just sobbing. I'm just it happened. I knew what happened. I knew that's what it was. We live in New York. We know what's up. If this was in the middle of Alabama, it might've been a different vibe, but I was it's happening. I'm walking Dewey crying. People are hanging out their windows. Everyone's screaming in the streets. This girl rushes up to me. She's like, I'm a Vanna girl. This girl's got to eat. We took a picture. Then this other woman comes up to me. She goes, did we win? And I was like, yes. And her and I start screaming on a street corner, me and this woman. And we're both wearing masks. But I was like, can we hug? She had a dog too. She was just out walking her dog.
You hugged a person?
We did it. We did
you were like, I don't
awkward,
like that.
I didn't know if I would have hugged her. I called my two friends in the building. I was like, let's go up to the roof. And Andrew Collin came over, and then we had a drink on the roof. And then we went down to Washington Square Park, tried to meet up with you. You're going to share your truth in a minute. Obviously I was texting you and you'll tell what you were doing, but we were in the park. It was great. Everybody was being safe, wearing masks. People were letting loose. The vibe, the energy was incredible. I've never experienced anything like it. I can't describe it. A lot of you guys were seeing my Instagram stories, and the most heartwarming messages I got were for people that weren't feeling that. They were no shade, but one girl was in Texas or whatever. She was like, this isn't the vibe, and I'm so jealous. I wish I was there. And people in other countries were messaging me. It was just so beautiful. I felt such a sense of camaraderie. And then we had some food and came back, and I was here watching the acceptance speeches. Can we call them that?
Mm-hmm. What time did you go to bed?
3. But that was my day. That's how I found out. I will never forget it. I was hating that I didn't have my phone, but then this weird sense of I get to just live in this and not be trying to capture it for Instagram. I went up on the roof and did my stories, and obviously from the park, but just to be on the street and people just start screaming for joy is something else. It's so special. I couldn't love the city anymore. I know that was happening in other cities too, but
yesterday was truly one of the most special days that I'll ever remember
best day of 2020
in my lifetime.
Obviously.
No, really, of my lifetime. I feel like I have felt really low. I have felt hopeless. I felt really dark. It's been really cold and it's just been getting dark earlier. And I haven't been sleeping. And to finally be here and to experience such joy, such happiness. Everybody was just in it, and they were singing, and there was music, and there was dancing, and there was just people cheering all through the city. And I feel like there's been so much hatred, so much negativity, so much ill will toward each other. And it just felt like this really beautiful day where people came together. And I woke up yesterday morning and was like, okay, they're not going to call the election results for days. I got to take a break. I can't get up every morning and watch the news. I can't do it. So I was not watching the news. I was sitting at my desk.
I feel like a lot of us took a break. Raina, I love that you said that. I feel like a lot of people woke up and they were like, it's Saturday.
I can't do it.
I got to take a break. I got to take a day off.
Plans. You and I were going to go to the park.
We had a park
We were going to go to a picnic. So I'm sitting at my desk. I'm looking out the window. I have my music on. I do not have the news on. All of a sudden in the hallway, I hear people screaming.
Oh my God. In the hallway.
I'm like, fuck this building. I moved here because it's all old people. Okay. I moved here to specifically not have screaming in the hallway. And so I look out the hallway and I'm like glaring at these people. I go back and I sit down at my desk, which faces out to the window. And all of a sudden I see all this paper and streamers coming down in front of my window. And I live on the 11th floor of a building. So it's weird for anything to be that high in the East Village. Like there's not a lot of tall buildings.
Yeah, you live in a high building.
And so I hear all this screaming and I see all these streamers. It still has not occurred to me that like the president won because I thought we were so far away from like actually figuring this out.
Also, I thought I would have been the first to know. I was glued to the news for 4 days and I found out on the streets.
It's all I do. So I go up to the roof. I'm like, I just got to find out what's happening in New York. So then I hear the bells chiming. I go to the roof. Half of my building's already up there. Everyone is setting off all of these poppers, streamers. People are crying. There's champagne everywhere. My neighbor was up there, which I spent the whole day with. We'll talk about it.
We'll get to it.
I immediately just start getting drunk. I am so happy. I'm texting everybody. I'm like drunk by 11:30. There's bagels. There's lox on the roof. It was the best. And then my neighbor and I went downstairs and we went to Union Square, went to Washington Square Park. We danced in the fountain. We just cheered with everybody. And then I met up with all these Australian people who are just categorically hotter than Americans. And I spent the whole day doing that. It was great. I tried to meet up with you, but I was
We didn't even get to meet up.
I was in the drunk hole.
Yeah.
But I will say I ran into so many listeners of the podcast in Washington Square Park, and it was so nice to see people. We just did a meet and greet for like an hour. It was great.
You did the
fan experience.
Girls Gotta Eat snackhead bonding day that day. I did it all week long in the DMs. Thank you guys. I was talking to you all week. They were open. I was chatting with people. I was loving it. You guys were sending me the most hilarious stuff, also the most inspiring stuff, like that we inspired you to vote or to talk to a family member, to encourage others to go out and vote or volunteer at the polls or all these things. And so tons of messages like that from people and then people all over the world as well. It was really, really special. So shout out to you guys. We love you so much. And we kind of want to talk about what this election means.
Yeah.
Raina's story is to be continued.
We're going to do dating stuff later in the episode.
Yeah,
this is the whole thing.
She has a whole thing. I had something happen to me last night that was crazy. You don't know about. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about The Bachelorette. We're going to do all this stuff. But I just want to say that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won this election fair and square. This was a beautiful display of our democracy. It looked a little bit different, obviously, due to the pandemic, all these mail-in ballots. This is nothing new. States have voted mail-in forever. Absentee ballots have been a thing forever. We've used the mail for voting. There was no fraud here. There was no proof of fraud. This is not a thing. This narrative is false. They won fair and square. Joe Biden, we've talked about all this before. We talked in depth about politics in our Elizabeth Warren episode. You're welcome to go back and listen. Fan of him, Delaware guy, happy that he won. And Kamala Harris, we have a woman in the White House. Like it's unprecedented. A woman of color at that, the daughter of an immigrant. Like the fact that women can see that representation is just so inspirational and so incredible. Like we're doing it. We're moving in the right direction. It's so beautiful to see. I'm so happy that this happened and the way that it played out. And it's just like, it's something to be said. I love that she said in her speech, like the audacity of Joe Biden to choose a woman as his running mate to enter the White House with him is so crazy. Also, I love that our CNN zaddies are calling her husband the first dude. But anyway, that being said, I want us to talk about a little bit how we're feeling and what this kind of means. Like one thing that I loved in Joe Biden's speech was the notion of empathy and like bringing people together. And this wasn't like, fuck you all who didn't vote for me. Of course, we never thought that would be. And that's kind of the message that I want to send, that like, this was never about Republicans versus Democrats. This was just about Trump for us. This was just about like a dangerous, hateful rhetoric and the racism and the misogyny and the bigotry, and that there was zero empathy, the disrespect, the undermining of our democracy, the family separated at the border, the denying of science, the complete mismanagement of a pandemic that has killed hundreds of thousands of Americans. And the people who voted for him were all okay with that. And I know people are so saddened and disappointed and like an array of emotions thinking about all the millions of people who did vote for Donald Trump. Like these people still hold those values. They held them a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And especially those in marginalized groups who felt especially targeted by him and his followers. And I want to validate that. I want to hold space for that. This election doesn't just magically fix these things and put a Band-Aid on it. I think we have so much more work to do, but we're moving in the right direction towards progress with who we elected, who will be put in place. It feels like we are going to get there. And speaking of progress and people's beliefs, I just think it's never too late to change. I think that that's what you and I are out here preaching. We had Jamila on. We talked about this. We're out here. You're trying to talk to your old ass family members and change their way of thinking because you have hope, right? That they can change. People can shift their ways of thinking and something can click for them. And so I want to say that it's never too late for people to grow and people to change. And like, the whole point is unity and that we're on the same team. And of course, I know that not everyone will always agree. We're never going to all be on the same team. It's not realistic. Some people will obviously never change. It's just not the nature of humanity. So I'm not trying to come across naive or like so wishful thinking, but hopefully we'll get to a better place than we have been. And so my hope is that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris do bring the country together on some level, and that we do have people that maybe realize they were holding some of those beliefs that were hurtful and dangerous to marginalized groups, and they want more equality and less violence and hatred, and elected leaders who have empathy and integrity and are honest. And of course, everything that we all want, a strong economy, jobs, better healthcare, better education systems. Like we all want those things, preserving the environment. Like these are positive things. They're not like crazy conspiracy theories, These are steps in the right direction and to us being a more united states. So we are going to keep doing our part and having inclusive guests and trying to give you guys tools where we can. And of course, talking about this stuff and things that we feel passionately about. Of course, the political content is going to subside post-election. Our goal is still to empower you in your dating lives, relationship, sex. We're not losing sight of that, just to be clear. But you guys know that we use our platform for good and to try to make the world a better place and a place that we want to live in and that you guys want to live in. So we're going to keep working. There's still a lot of work to do. And it's never too late for people to change.
Yeah, and to get back on the same team again. I haven't felt like this country is a team in a very long time. And to watch Joe Biden get on the television last night and say, like, I want to be a president to everybody, even if you didn't vote for me, even if you don't believe in the same things that I do. Like, we're all American. Let's get these things under control. I don't think that this waves a magic wand and changes things so deeply. I think that we are inheriting a lot of problems. I think that there's a lot of people that have been in power, not just Donald Trump, who have made a lot of mistakes, who have created a lot of terrible situations. We have a lot of work ahead of us. And yeah, we're not going to make this podcast political every single week forever, but this is the first time in a long time I've felt this renewed sense of hope that we're all going to stop hating each other so much, that we're just going to support women and minorities and immigrants because we should, that we should be giving opportunities to all of these disenfranchised people. And I feel like there's this notion of community and uplifting each other, I hope. And I'm like you, I'm not going to say fuck everybody that voted for Trump. I don't know you people. I don't know how you grew up. I don't know what your families think. I think this has been a really tough time for everybody. And I think that this is so supercharged, and it feels like we let the air out of the tank a little bit, in a good way, that we just sort of like release the valve a bit. And I feel really hopeful that we have people that are good people that want the best for everyone, even if you didn't vote for them.
Right.
And I feel a lot of hope and positivity. So we're going to always use our platform for this kind of stuff and to uplift voices and to do the right things. And we appreciate you guys listening through all the election coverage. And I know that you're all stressed. We know that you guys all voted and campaigned and talked to your families and had really tough discussions. So thank you for doing that. I feel like yesterday was really a great move for the future.
Yeah, we're on the right track. Like this is like the beginning. Like I feel like we have a fresh start. You know what I mean? Like we can move forward. We can rest easy at night. Like we're moving in the right direction. Again, not a quick fix, not a Band-Aid, but we're going to keep doing our part. And we hope you guys too. And we're also going to keep making jokes because it's still a comedy podcast and laughter is important no matter what. So we're going to keep doing that. Might throw a little shade here and there. We're not going soft. So don't get it twisted, but we're hopeful for the future. So let's fucking go.
Positivity and hope. And we're excited for what happened. If you're not excited for what happened, I don't know. Whatever. But I'm excited and I'm hopeful for the future.
So you guys know that Ashley and I love to travel. We do it all the time, professionally and socially. And it is really, really important to me to have the best luggage possible, both functionally and just the way it looks. And Base is my absolute favorite. I have everything that they do. I have their check-in bags. I have their carry-on. I have their mini weekender, but I just got their newest bag. I am so obsessed. It's the East to West tote, and it is the absolute perfect bag for like a 1 to 3 day trip. And I just took it with me to Santa Barbara, and it was just perfect for like a few dinner outfits, a couple daytime stuff. I had a padded laptop sleeve, a place for a water bottle, zipper pockets, and there's like an extra removable strap. Also, I just think it's really beautiful. I got it in the beige color, but all of Base's stuff comes in lots of colors. It's highly functional. Outside of this bag, which I am crazy about, their luggage has 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushioned handle, which I love when I'm at the airport, built-in weight indicator, and I always say this, I love their washable bags. So a great travel hack is to just have like a laundry bag in your suitcase. They provide that for you too. It's so cute. Everything they do is super durable and beautiful and functional. I just can't say enough about Base. I love them. And right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/GGE. That's BEIS travel.com/GGE.
Okay, thank you to Helix for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Go to helixsleep.com/GGE, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Use code HelixPartner20 and you'll get 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. You guys know how obsessed we are with Helix. Both of us have multiple Helix mattresses. It's all we sleep on. I have made sure that my parents have one, my brother has one, my boyfriend has one. I just refuse to go anywhere and not sleep on a Helix mattress. That is how obsessed we are. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including the award-winning Luxe Collection, which we love. We have the Luxe Collection mattresses, the newly released Helix Elite Collection, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers, and even a mattress made just for kids. So for everyone in the family, and you're just going to take their quiz, which is really fun, and then they will give you your personalized mattress recommendation. It's going to be shipped straight to your door, free of charge. You can try it out for 100 nights to make sure you love it, and then there's a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. We know everybody sleeps differently. You might sleep on your back, your side, roll around all night on your stomach, or you might want a soft, medium, or firm mattress. We are all so different. So that is why they offer really something for everyone. And so you're just going to order what works best for you, come straight to your door. You can sleep on it that night. You're going to love it. It will change your life. You'll get the best sleep of your life, and you can thank us later. So Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/GGE and use code HelixPartner20. This is their best offer with Helix. Better sleep starts now.
All right, let's talk about the second most important thing that was on television this week. Equally as important was the 4th episode of The Bachelorette. I had people
Season 52.
How many seasons have there been?
I don't know. I've been watching it since I was in college.
So just like 5 years.
It's a newer show.
I had people over in my apartment. I actually had Ashley, Gavin, and Remy who were on our show. I was like, can you guys please get the fuck out so I can watch this? So really important thing happened this week.
Well, let's give a quick, in case you're just under a rock and you were busy with, I don't know, the election coverage, whatever. The Bachelorette has been on. We've talked about it on a few episodes. If you don't want spoilers, I guess skip ahead right now, but most people know what happened, but there are spoilers here. So skip ahead 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it may be. The whole thing is that there was a woman, she was the Bachelorette, named Claire Crawley. She fell in love with a contestant named Dale Moss, who we know, he's been on the show. His episode is called Still Not a Player. It's from summer of 2018. You want to go back and listen to it. And they fell in love, and then she left the show. And there's a new Bachelorette coming in after 4 episodes. Unprecedented, never happened before. Again, been watching the show for a few years. And it's been fucking crazy. And that on Thursday night, so like still in the midst of the election, was this episode where she blew up the Bachelorette, and we'll talk about what happened, but she's no longer the Bachelorette, and her and Dale are together, allegedly.
Yeah, they knew each other for 5 days, and they were like, this is it, we're leaving. Yeah.
And you guys obviously want us to talk about it. I want to talk about it with all due respect to Dale, who is someone that is our friend and his new fiance, I guess. I guess my one issue with it is that the season kind of started and we were kind of pitched this like Bachelorette that was older and she knew what she wanted and she never settled and she wasn't going to take any shit. And I think we started to see hints of another side of her throughout the season. And that episode that just aired last week, to me, she came across as somebody that still has a lot of work to do on themselves. And the language that she was using of, I've begged men to love me and I've told men I've loved them and no one has ever stayed. Like, it seemed like that wasn't like her experience in high school. Like, that was recent. Like, it seemed to me that she doesn't have a lot of self-worth. She has a lot of insecurity. She has a lot of trauma, which we all do. You know, this isn't her fault. But she felt like someone that felt desperate for love, which is not necessarily the person that's like, I've never settled because I know what I'm worth, you know? So it was kind of a flip-flop from that. And I don't want to drag her by any stretch. We all watched the show. We all saw this happen. It was sad to me, I guess, from a standpoint of the stuff that we talk about of like, live your best life, be whole on your own. Don't look for a man to complete you. Don't be desperate for someone to stay with you. Know that you're okay on your own. And I think she's been through a lot. Want to give her credit. This is still not hating on Claire. I wish them the best. I truly do. This isn't like I have a crush on Dale. That's a bit, guys.
I
mean, I haven't even talked, you know.
I've been waiting for People Magazine to pick up the fact that Ashley Hazeltine is commenting on every one of Dale's posts being like, I'm right here, true queen, backpack.
I've been trying to get some press.
Thank you for what you're doing for the show.
Know, but no, I don't actually have a crush on Dale. If I did, I wouldn't be in his comments like I have been. That would be very weird.
True.
So I wish them the best. Truly. I think they're good people. I really do. I think she doesn't totally know herself. And I think we were promised this like bad bitch and we got this like, I'm begging for love, you know? So that was what bummed me out from a female perspective.
Yeah, I think it took sort of a dark negative turn that I wasn't expecting. And listen, we've done interviews. We didn't love the way they sounded. I think that editing can do a lot
Good call.
to change the way that people look. Because I have been made to look like I said things I didn't fucking say. Yeah. But I do think
you did say you listened to that song on repeat though, even though Cosmo.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
No, I get it though. Yeah, like I begged men to love me. They might have got her at a weak moment.
100%.
But
and maybe that's the truth. I mean, but I think that like for the 4 episodes they showed her, she would only talk about Dale. She's interviewing every guy on the show about Dale. And I think The Bachelor is kind of fun usually. And it just had like a negative tone. And I think that we were promised this woman who was a little bit older that had never settled. And that's not really what we got. And I felt bad that was displayed on television because it wasn't a good look. You know, it was disappointing.
Yeah. And I feel like we were seeing her therapy sessions like that. I'm sorry. Also that one day with that guy where he like bared his soul. And then she just like didn't pick him. Like that guy, what Jared Freed's recap was like, this guy admitted that his parents don't love each other. And now he just has to go home to them. Like he's like, fuck.
He better win Tasha.
Like those dates were very deep and odd. And I was like, can we get some like light, sexy stuff? We've been through enough. It's 2020, but that was just one part of it. But yeah, I love that you said that. Like it was just, we didn't exactly get what they probably thought we were going to, honestly. Like they were probably like, what the fuck? Why is she acting like this?
I didn't know half the guys on the show.
I still don't know him.
By the time they got to the end, like I was just like, who are these people? The only people I knew were the people that she interviewed to say, what did Dale say about me?
I know. But I will say that I can respect them actually falling in love and like not, and her just being like, fuck all these other guys. I'm not saying that wouldn't happen. Like love is a really crazy, powerful thing. So in terms of her like being quote unquote disrespectful and not wanting to spend time with the other guys, I fucking get it. You know what I mean? If she actually fell in true love with this person, I get it. But it was a lot.
It was a lot. And it seemed that okay, here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought her and Dale were going to have a discussion. Like, listen, I fully accept that, like, on The Bachelor, people really do fall in love. I do think they do. There's plenty of couples that have fallen in love, got married, have a boatload of kids. I fully accept that can happen in 2 months. I know people are like, well, they're on this vacation. It's amazing. Some people really do fall in love.
For sure.
A specific type of people go on television to be, you know, like I think that they're compatible. I understand the proposals at the end. I understand people meet your families. You travel together. You fucked a bunch. I get it. This season, I just expected them to be like, we know you guys have known each other for 5 days, so like there's no need to like do this proposal thing. I thought there'd be like some discussion between like Dale and Claire where they were like wink wink nudge nudge, like we're not gonna really get engaged. Like it's not a normal thing to like, you know, how many days did they know each other? A week?
I am with you. I gotta say, I did not know a proposal was happening. I thought they were going to be like, you two can leave the show together. That's all I thought was happening. I thought you guys ride off into the sunset, start your life together. When he called Neil Lane, I was like, what the fuck is happening? I guess obviously it makes sense. That's what The Bachelor's all about. Like, of course they're going to hit you with that. But I was shook. I did not expect know.
It. And she seemed to fully buy into it. He didn't even know her
parents' names.
She seemed to fully buy into it. She's crying. She's shaking. She meant that. She's in it. And
of course she's in it.
Dale looks at her as like, I guess we're doing it. Yeah. I guess I'm going to do it. And then I have never seen a more lackluster, I don't give a shit about this. And she's like, you're stuck with me forever. And he's like, how long until this filming ends?
She's like, Claire Moss. I was like, oh God.
When she said that too, I was like, oh my God. And she's like, how good does this ring look? It's like, Dale's like, okay, we fucked for the first time yesterday. I'm ready for 5 days. Can we like maybe go to lunch together? Like it was very odd and lackluster.
I know. And like if they are super in love, like we love Dale, we support him. Like if this is a true, love at first sight love story, great, go off. Like I'm not ever going to shit on that because that's a beautiful thing.
I just don't know what the point of the engagement was, but I'm going to shut this down in 2 seconds. I promise. But I don't know what the point was. I don't think America would have revolted if they were like, we're just going to leave the show. Like, I don't think that the expectation of these two was getting it. And I, by the way, feel like
that's what's ratings. You know what I mean? Like they had to. They were like, this is the show. If you're going to leave here, we're going to let you leave. Neil Lane's going to get involved.
Neil's like, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue if you don't do it. I fully believe in love at first sight. I met somebody this year who I like met day one, and I was like, that's my person. I'm going to marry him. But then you date that person, and then you realize, oh, I'm not going to marry that person.
Yeah, right.
Like, like I got to know this person a little more, and I was like, oh, you have mental issues. We're not going to get married.
Yeah. I mean, we could do a whole episode on love at first sight. Of course, you can. Love at first sight is a coincidence. Love at first sight is like a feeling you feel about somebody, then it actually happens that you're compatible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It works out sometimes. But yeah, I was bothered by seeing a woman that I feel like has a lot of work to do on herself before she gets married. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, I'm sure a lot of people are like, what do you expect? She's almost 40. Like, whatever. All I'm saying is what I'm seeing from the words coming out of her mouth were like, yikes. Like you want this man to complete you and fix you.
That's the message.
Right. Yeah. And also, I don't know. Someone messaged me and they're like, I'm getting a trauma bond between the two of them, which is not a bad thing and a negative thing. They were bonding over losing their parents. That brings you close together. One of my very best friends, she bonded very quickly with her husband. They actually got married very quick. They both lost their dads. Like you bond over trauma. We could do an episode on this as well. Like they had that too, but let's just hope that those things that did bond them aren't it, and they actually are a good couple if they're going to be out here engaged.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to get married. I thought I had hope that they were just gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna date.
I gotta tell you,
Dale, I guess we're doing it.
Was like, they're just going to leave. Like they're going to leave and now Tayshia's going to come in. Like, so I was like, we get an hour of this and now Tayshia, like, and then it was a whole proposal. I was like, what?
Also, what if you got proposed to like in the courtyard of the La Quinta?
Girl, those memes were fire. It said like every girl's dream proposal and it said the La Quinta.
I didn't see those. Okay, this is a total independent thought. That's hysterical.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't see any of that. That's hysterical.
I love that you had that thought. It's the fact that this all was at the La Quinta.
Like she's just outside her like 1-bedroom suite.
The La Quinta.
The La Quinta, she like put
Oh, I wish we had some intel for you guys. Sorry, don't DM us.
Well, you'll talk to Dale.
Yeah, I'll talk to Dale.
We'll let you guys know as long as we don't get sued by anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love gift giving at this time of year, but when finding great gifts, things can really start to add up. And that's why this season I am shopping with Quince. Quince is the go-to place for luxury essentials at affordable prices for everyone on my list, including myself. We'd like to thank Quince for supporting our show. Go to quince.com/GGE to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your order. So I'm really, really glad I found this company and this site. Everything is so affordable, but looks really luxury. So as you're perusing it, they have 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They have washable silk tops and dresses. They have cotton sweaters and all kinds of comfy stuff, like just cozy pants that you can wear. I love the colors. I love the styles, but the prices are really the reason to shop here on top of obviously the selection. Prices are 50 to 80% less than similar brands. So it's unbelievable. It partners directly with top factories to cut out the cost of the middleman, and it just passes the savings directly on to you from Quince. And I just love what they're doing. I love the styles. There's so much variety, and it is such a one-stop shop, whether you're shopping for kids, you're a significant other, your parents, anybody will really love this. You can get affordable luxury for everyone on your list with Quince. Go to quince.com/GGE to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your order. That's QUINCE.com/GGE for free shipping and 365-day returns. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp Therapy Online. For 10% off your first month, go to betterhelp.com/GGE. So we all carry around different stressors, big and small, throughout life. And when we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us really negatively. And therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and figure out how to work through whatever is weighing you down. And sometimes we can have journals and self-talk and friends and family that help us, but it is really, really helpful to talk to a therapist outside of that, and they can empower you to be a better version of yourself and set boundaries and work through whatever is going on with you personally, professionally, in your love life, with friends. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. So you'll just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime at no additional charge. I absolutely love what they're doing, and they make it so simple. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GGE today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GGE.
All right, let's
Talk about dating stuff on our dating show.
go off.
I feel like it's just been so dismal lately in the world, and now I'm excited to talk about dating. Get back out.
Get back at bitch. Don't you dare.
I got back under a 6'5" guy last week.
You did. It was like a month ago at this point.
Was it? No, it was 2 weeks ago.
It was a month ago. I had my period. I'm due again this week.
Oh, I'm due for my period too.
Time flies in a pandemic.
You're getting fucked.
On an air mattress. Wait, what?
God, it was an air mat. Listen, he didn't have any furniture yet.
Rita, we're not talking about this.
I am going to talk about it at the live show, so buy tickets.
Okay. Yes.
So dating in this world right now. I have a
date tomorrow.
Crazy story to tell you.
I have a date tomorrow.
You have a date tomorrow.
Can I say it one more time? Allegedly. And if any of you were following along during my election coverage, interspersed in there was a exchange with somebody on Hinge, which I usually don't post that stuff. I never do. It actually felt pretty natural for me to be posting messages anonymously, of course, but I didn't know that I was going to end up going out with this guy. It typically doesn't work out. It was a crazy week, but he was so funny. We were having this hot banter, and a lot of it was election related and B-hole related. It was very on brand. I wanted you guys to see it. I wanted to lift your spirits, and it did. A lot of you guys got invested, and we have a date tomorrow. Allegedly. Again, I say that in that he could cancel. You never know. So we've been talking still, like we're on text, and we have a date tomorrow. I may or may not keep you guys posted. That being said, I have an update from another guy I talked about that I never gave an update on, and I have an update as of like last night, but I want to hear what happened to you yesterday.
I had a whole day. I like disappeared into a drunk fog with this guy, and I'm so excited to tell you about this. And I'm going to tell you guys about who it was.
They know.
So we're going to update you guys. If you haven't been following along for 2 years, I've been sleeping with my neighbor for 2 years. And just like an update on where we stand now.
You've been in a 2-year-long relationship. March 2020 is 2 years, right?
Yeah, March 2021. Well, we'll get to it. And if you guys, if you don't remember the latest with him and I, we actually tried to like repurpose each other into like a relationship at the beginning of the pandemic because like I couldn't see anybody else. We spent like a month together, and then I decided that I didn't really enjoy each other's company. And then I told him that I was going back to Pittsburgh to quarantine, and I just never went. And he ran.
And he lives, he's your neighbor.
He's actually my neighbor. He lives directly above me, so he knows when I'm home. So that's the latest with him. I haven't seen him for months, and I ran him in the elevator last week, which I told you guys about. So that's where him and I stand up until now.
He looked bad. He didn't look good.
He didn't look good. Yesterday he
So
looked
now I'm
good.
judging you, but okay.
Yesterday he looked good.
He had a glow up in a week.
He did. I don't know what happened. He shaved and he bought new clothing. Okay. So yesterday I saw him. I go up to the roof. I'm like, God damn it, he's here. But like, I'm like, okay, listen, I'm going to fuck on Biden Day. It's Biden Day. Like, I'm just going to do it.
I tried. I was ready to fuck a stranger.
You were? Okay, well, I tried to fuck my neighbor and I go up. I see him. He looks cute. He's got like a cute bandana on, cute glasses. We're drinking. I'm kind of drunk. He's like, do you want to take a walk? We'll go to Washington Square Park. And I'm like, he looks really cute. Okay, so I go change. I put some makeup on. And I don't know if you guys know this or if I've talked about this. I have talked a little on the podcast. I've never been to his apartment. It's been 2 years. I've never been in there before. So I'm feeling bold, you know. So like we're in my place and he has a beer and I was like, oh shit, I want to grab beer too. And he's like, I'll get you some from the apartment. I was like, I'll just come. So I saw his apartment yesterday for the first time.
Before you set out or
before we set out into the world.
Okay.
I wanted to get some beers to just walk around with. I saw his apartment for the first time.
What is it?
It was just a lot of surfboards. It was like 1,000 surfboards.
Surfboard.
And guitars. And it was messy. And
like, what was his couch like?
it was just a big dark leather couch, like a man couch. I cannot overstate.
It wasn't a futon.
No, I can't overstate the amount of surfboards.
What are you talking about? The amount of surfboards?
Stacks of surfboards.
In a Manhattan apartment.
Yes.
A bunch of surfboards. Why do you need more than two? What are you talking about?
So
does he run a surf shop out of there?
No, he's like a surfer. That's what he likes to do.
You need that many?
I guess. I don't know how surfing works.
I don't know. I do yoga. I have one mat. I have two.
I don't know, for different climates. So we go to his apartment. I see his apartment for the first time. I'm like, oh my God, like we're doing it. And we went down, we took a walk. I'm like this like drunk haze with this guy. We're like dancing through the streets. It's so fun. We go to Washington Square Park. I like make him do the meet and greet with all the girls that keep running up to us. Like he's taking the photos of like me and all of our fans.
Oh my God.
And he like looks so cute. He's such a mundane. He was like, I'm gonna go meet my friends. Do you want to come with me?
Okay.
He's like, I'm gonna meet my friends in the West Village. So his business partner was coming, a bunch of his other friends. So we go to the West Village. We're like hanging out in this bar with a big group of people, and one of our other neighbors comes. There's maybe like 8 of us. It's really fun. Outdoors, drinking beer. I've ordered a ton of drinks on this tab, a ton of alcohol on this tab, food, whatever. Our neighbor comes, she sits with me. I'm starting to talk to her. I'm thinking like this day is going so great. I'm gonna get laid at the end of the day. This girl comes up, she walks up to the table and she just sits down on his lap. And I was like, I look at my neighbor, I'm like, who is that girl? And she goes, oh, that's his girlfriend.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Like, what do you mean it's his girlfriend? I've spent the whole day with him. By the way, he wasn't fingering me in the streets.
Right.
He didn't do anything wrong. Like, he's perfectly welcome to spend time with somebody.
Girlfriend. Yeah, spend time with somebody he fucked for 2 years. Okay.
Yeah. So she's like, oh yeah, they've been together for a few months. They're leaving town together for 2 more months tomorrow. So they're like serious enough. They're taking a 2-month trip tomorrow together. And this girl's sitting on his lap. And I, without even skipping a beat, just look at her and go, I have to meet up with Ashley. And I picked up my phone and just walked away. I walked away from 8 people, all the drinks.
Did?
I didn't offer $1. I left all my food on the table and I just left.
And guys, she didn't even meet up with me.
No, I didn't.
I hate you. I wanted to see you yesterday.
I wanted to see you too. I was like, am I mad about this? Can I be mad at this? This was like, I feel like this is his way of getting back at me for telling him during a pandemic that I was leaving town to quarantine and just never.
You've done a lot to hurt his ego.
I deserved it.
But you said fucking me like you mean it, and not in a sexy way.
Yeah, well, I meant that.
And then you stuck a dildo in his butt with no lube. I mean, Raina, you had this coming. He's been waiting for this moment for years.
He was like, I'm gonna fuck with this girl all day. I'm gonna get her all juiced up. I'm gonna look like a human being for once. I'm gonna look all hot. I'm gonna introduce her to all my friends and my business partner, and then my girlfriend's gonna show up and sit on my lap in front of her.
That is nuts.
1 foot away from me.
Was she pretty?
I didn't even look at her in the face.
You just were like, I gotta go.
I literally saw like a cute little like blonde hair girl sit down on his lap. My neighbor goes, that's his girlfriend. And I just got up and left.
This is bananas.
I was so excited to tell you.
Well, were there other prospects with him? You said there was like a cute guy, or that was like his business
partner. Is so
you're not
cute.
gonna like fuck his business partner.
I mean, now I am going to.
Yeah, now you will.
Now I'm gonna definitely fuck his business partner because that guy was hot. It was shocking. It was one of those moments that doesn't even hit you how shocking it is until it's over. Yeah. Like this morning I was like, that was kind of crazy, right? Like there was one stool in between me and him, and his girlfriend was on his lap. So that was fucking crazy. He got me back.
Oh my God.
I was very excited to tell you.
Thank you for sharing with me and our listeners.
You're right. I deserve that.
You did. She deserved it.
I wouldn't do it to him. That was a pretty fucked up thing to spend the whole day with me and not mention that she's coming.
It's really weird. You get blindsided. Like, not necessarily in this really malicious way, but like, what the fuck?
I mean, I couldn't care less. I'm not into him.
Right,
but like,
you're not.
I just thought like I was going to get laid and you should have given me a heads up that I wasn't.
Right. Like, I'm in this apartment with all these fucking weird surfboards. Like, I'm trying to fuck.
So that was my day.
Okay. Here's what happened to me.
Okay.
I
don't know anything about this.
Okay, guys. So let's go back to early September, maybe late August, when I went on my first date, like out of quarantine. I met this guy on Hinge and I had this crazy date experience with this server spraying a bottle of rose water in my face, whatever. Me and this guy made out in the street. I was looking forward to going out with him again. And that's, I think, all you guys know. And then I was saving the updates because we were talking about them at the live shows and I didn't want to spoil them. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I actually don't even care anymore. But I do have a new update. So, but just the stuff that in between what happened recently is that, and the date was that after the date, we were keeping in touch. Everything was really falling into place. Like the next, I mean, I wasn't like, this is my guy, but I was like, this will be fun. You know, I would definitely like fuck this guy and go out with him again, whatever. And so the next morning after we like had this great date and the street makeout, he was like, had such a fun time last night. What are you up to this weekend? And, or, you know, would love to see you again kind of stuff. And then it just turned to this thing where every day for like a week, he was like checking in with me. Like, what are you doing today? It was so boring. It wasn't good banter. He wasn't sending me memes or anything. It was just like, what are you up to today?
It was fucking stupid.
Yeah, he wasn't
like,
pulling
here's
the trigger.
sandwich I ate today.
And I just feel like I guess I could have asked him out. I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, I think I wanted to put in a little more effort, you know, like, so I just finally got annoyed. Like, I was just like, whatever. A week or so went by, a week and a half, and I'm sitting at a girlfriend's house and I get a text from him on like a Saturday night. And it was, do you want to get a drink again? Do you want to go out again? Like, he asked me out again. And I hadn't heard this from this guy in days. It'd been probably like a week or a week and a half since our one first date. But I was like, sure, you know, I don't know anything about this guy. He doesn't really owe me anything. He could be dating multiple people. Who cares? I had a good time with him. I'm attracted to him. We had a good conversation. We had a hot makeout. I'll go out with him again. No big deal. You know, of course I had to like fuck with him a little and I responded, who is this? Mm-hmm. And he was like, I don't know if you're kidding or not. And I was just like, please give me your information. You know, like it was, I just fucked with him a little bit. And then what happened next was that he just did the same shit. And he never followed through. It was like 3 more days of, what are you doing today? What are you doing? And this was right when I went to Delaware to see some family. So finally I was over it. And I said to him after like 3 days post, do you want to go out again? I said, I'm in Delaware with family. I'll be back in a couple days. Let me know if you want to grab that drink, or you can just text me forever with like a smiley face. Like, just like Guy Winch said, like I kind of made a little bit of a dig, let him know like, you're on notice. This is annoying, but smiley face, I still want to see you. And never heard from him again.
Listen, I encourage and empower anybody to do that because it's annoying. It's annoying for somebody to ask you out, spend some time with you, and then just pen pal you to death. And I think that there's a nice I'm really mad at you way to do it. It's like that. You know, I think that it's normal to shut it down. I don't need to just talk to you all the time, especially if it's not even fun banter.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'll talk to you.
Yes,
if it's fun.
A week can fly by if we're bantering. Like, it wasn't that. I was getting annoyed with our communication. Also, the whole like challenging a guy to pull the trigger on asking you out with a little bit of that snark with the smiley face works. I did it that same week with someone else and we went on a date. You know, I haven't even talked about that date. He was kind of pussyfooting around and making vague comments about wanting to meet up.
Yeah, it's annoying. You got to shut that shit down.
Yeah, and I finally was like, are you just going to like make these vague comments or are we going to actually go out? And we went out. So, I mean, it works is what I'm saying. Like, it didn't work with this guy and I don't fucking care. He wasn't asking me out. This was in September. I think that was like, now at this point, I think that was like September 21st was that last, I looked back last night. That was that last thing where I was like, hey, let's go out. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
And I don't think that there's anything, by the way, if the girls have tried this and it didn't work, there's nothing to be embarrassed of. You should shut this down. And if somebody's like, fuck you after that, then bye.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
So to like entertain your lame ass texts until you deem that I'm good enough to go out with again, bye.
I didn't roast you. I didn't emasculate you. I gave you a winky face. Yeah. I made it clear I want to see you again too. Done and done. Never heard from him again. Last night at 2:30 in the morning, I get a text from him. I'm on Instagram stories, like doing my thing. So it came through and it took me a minute to like finish doing something till I could look.
Sure.
I thought he knows I am a Biden supporter, a liberal person. We've had a crazy day in New York. He's going to say like, what a crazy day. You know, I'm sure you're celebrating, right?
Yeah.
His text was about how Notre Dame had beaten Clemson. He went to Notre Dame. I went to Clemson. They went to double overtime last night, and Clemson lost. Clemson lost a huge winning streak. Our quarterback has COVID. He couldn't play. And for Clemson to play Notre Dame and lose in double overtime was heartbreaking.
I am jaw on the floor. Cannot believe
He didn't text me as in good game. He texted me, we beat you guys? What? Raina! And then he goes, sorry, you're the only Clemson person I know.
Of course, that's what it is. It's like when people like randomly text me about Steelers games. It's like, I don't play for the Steelers. But this is our only connection to each other. It's not that deep for me. I don't need to hear from you about this.
But we lost.
Exactly.
In a really shitty way. Like, we lost because of COVID, right? We lost because Trevor Lawrence got COVID.
Yeah.
And we lost to this team, like, in double overtime. And this, like, of course, I mean, you have to eventually lose, but Clemson's number one. Like, they'll probably still come out on top, like, once Trevor recovers. But, like, are you kidding me?
I am shook.
2:30, Raina, 2:30 in the morning.
By the way, there was nothing else he could think of to talk to you about yesterday. Not one thing. He was like, that's the thing I'm going to land on.
2:30 in the morning. This guy
respond?
is on crack. No, fuck no.
He's on crack.
Fuck no, I didn't respond.
What do you think was going on in his mind this morning when he woke up? Like, do you think he looked at his phone and was like, I can't believe all the things I could have texted at 2 a.m.? Like, at least try to get some pussy.
Again, we're talking about football, guys. Not a big deal. Like, in the grand scheme of the world. Like, I don't even care. But it would have made so much more sense if they had gone into double overtime and Clemson had still won, and he would have been like, God, what a hard loss. But like, the fact that he came in 2 months after and was like,
to neg you at 2:30 in the morning.
To neg me at 2:20 in the morning. On the best day ever. On the best day of 2020. Ruin my day.
This guy's like, I'm going to slide in and ruin it at the last possible moment. He's like, she's on Instagram stories. She's up. Time to ruin it.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's on Instagram, but yeah, he could have seen me just like posting away and was like, I'm about to hit her up.
What a little cunt.
Like, it wasn't even like, sorry about your loss. It was like, just a reminder that Notre Dame beat you guys. Ha ha ha. Anyway, you're the only person I know to say this to. I don't know. Why don't you talk to your Notre Dame friends?
Why don't you go on an online messaging board? Okay, strangers would be better than
Go
this.
on Reddit and talk your shit. Also, the funny part is that this guy didn't cross my mind once. As I was watching Clemson get beat by Notre Dame, I forgotten completely that I'd even gone out with a guy that went to Notre Dame in the last couple months. Like, he didn't cross my mind one time. In the words of Taylor Swift, I forgot that you existed. Like, and he's over here. I guess he thought about me during the game and hit me up at 2 a.m.
That is his. I'm so glad you told me that. I'm so glad you didn't tell me until right now. I am shook.
Anyway, so high hopes for this dude tomorrow.
I'm really excited about it. But I'm glad that you brought this up because I want to talk about dating right now and what it's been like, because this is this sort of new normal. It's this COVID world. We're dating outside. The weather's changing. It's different. You know, we're showing up as different people. And I've been thinking a lot about like shooting your shot, because some girls have said, like, in our DMs, you know, I'm worried about going on dates. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm not super proud of what I've been doing lately. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's all this like negativity in the world and things are so heavily charged. But I feel like it's the opposite of like feeling bad that you don't have anything going on. It's like no one has anything going on. No one spent the summer in Europe. Mm-hmm. No one's been promoted at their jobs. No one's like killing it in the world. Like, yeah. I feel like the playing field is kind of leveled right now. Like, we've all gotten a little more humble. We've all had to realize what really matters and what's important. And we are taking more risks to be out with people and having to get more creative to go on a date. And I think that it's like kind of an exciting time. And like, what better time to shoot your shot when like no one has a ton of stuff going on and people really are looking for human connection now.
Absolutely. And if you don't feel comfortable dating, then don't, you know, like, yeah. I do feel comfortable going on an app and going out for a drink. Like, if you want to meet somebody, you want to go sit in the park 6 feet away wearing masks, that's fine too. Date at your comfort level. Want to get that out of the way to start. I think people have felt stressed and anxious and uncertain and sad and all the bad things the whole last, 8 months at this point, 7 months, like since March. And there is a renewed sense of optimism for a lot of people right now, for most of New York, based on the election, and kind of like that we feel like we have this fresh start, we're on this new path. So I feel like this could encourage people to date more. Like, you're feeling better, you're feeling lighter, you don't have this election hanging over your head. Like, you're ready to get back out there and date people that share your beliefs too.
We're sleeping again. We're all getting a full 8, or in your case, a full 5.
Yeah, still a full 5, and so I'm excited. We had a lot of great information last week on Nina Parker's episode in terms of talking to people and your prompts and your opening lines and things like that. And again, just like shoot your shot 2020, like it's go time. Let's fucking go. Like, just shoot your shot, get out there on the apps. I tell Raina all the time, like, I'm going to take control of her apps and just start swiping, but she's doing fine. Again, she can't stress enough. She got laid just a few weeks ago and he was 6'5". Okay. So
but we were safe. We did it doggy style and he's nowhere near
doggy
me.
style.
His dick was
huge
huge
dick, yes,
and he
it
fucked me
just-
from behind.
He actually his dick touched you from 6 feet away. That's how big it was.
It was pretty big.
You
yeah.
were distanced.
It was nice.
Distanced. So I just think get out there, shoot your shot. My thing is, I love what you said about like we don't have a lot going on. I think more than ever, it's so easy to figure out what to talk about because we've all been in this crazy world for 2020. And now we can add the election on top of it. Like, were you John King or Steve Kornacki, or were you watching Fox News? Or like, what was your election coverage like? Or like, I like to ask, like, what did you do in March, mid-March, like, what did you do on March 13th? Like, that was the last time I was like out, like, did you stay in the city? Did you go to see family? Did you, where'd you quarantine? What was your life like? Like, again, this could get dark, I guess, if someone has experienced a loss, but like, we all had this shared experience that was a lot of ups and downs. And that's the first thing I'm asking on a date.
And I will say, I think people tend to shy away from dating around the holidays because you're going to have these like tough conversations about like whose parents do we go to? What a better time when you can use the excuse of my parents don't feel comfortable with you being in the house. So you don't even have to worry about going home with people for the holidays.
Yeah. And if you, don't want to spend the holidays with your family because you no longer
like them,
then just spend it with your new man or your new woman. So I think there's a renewed sense of optimism, and that's kind of where we're at. Just encouraging you guys to get out there safely at your comfort level.
Yeah,
and you have plenty to talk about. There's a shit ton of shit to talk about.
Okay, and then just speaking of the holidays, I think that we would be remiss to not at least just talk about going home for the holidays for 1 second. Then we're gonna do a fun game, but I know that a lot of people, this election really divided them. Mm-hmm. And even in my own family, I have family members that had disagreements about how they felt. And it's not just like, just ignore it. It's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. Like, it's really hard. For example, it's just not my experience, but as a female to sit across from your father at the Thanksgiving table and know that he voted against your rights. And I don't think that there's an easy way to deal with that. I'm not going to just like pretend this didn't happen or, that I'm fine with my dad behaving like this. Again, I'm not talking about my father, but I think it's really tough. And I think that it's presented a lot of problems for some people. So I would love if you have some good advice.
I mean, yeah, and I just really want to say I've gotten messages like this from some of our listeners, my followers, and my friends that have to deal with this. And my heart like hurts for you, and my heart goes out for you, and you have my full support and sympathy. I don't have to deal with this with my family. I've had friends here and there, and I've broken off friendships for sure, like over this stuff. Like, I'm just like, I cannot be your friend with the way that you view the world and the way that you think. So that's your prerogative. I've done it. I've cut people out of my life. Family's different. Immediate family is very different. I mean, we have our chosen family, but these are people who are still our blood, and I don't have to deal with this. I feel for anybody that does. I wish the Hasseltines could welcome you into our home for the holidays, and you didn't have to do it.
10-10 can't recommend going to the Hasseltines for the holidays.
So it's just like, I've never had to really do it. And we tell you guys to have these tough conversations, but I also can't like tell you that I did it with a family member. You know what I mean? Because I haven't really had to. And I have so many friends that have, I have friends that their families are from the South, and I'm on group chats with a lot of, especially from the election, of like a good friend. She's like, my dad's like pissed, and it's like a thing. And I have one friend that's really separated from her father completely over a lot of this stuff. And it's really tough. The fact that families could be torn apart because of this really sucks. And that's why I feel like I want everyone to just come together. But in the meantime, I mean, I was asking on one of my group chats last night with like my like group of like 7 friends. They're all just like so brilliant. And I was just, a lot of them had dealt with this. And I was like, do you guys have advice for this? And I have some advice too, but I wanted to ask around. My friend Emily, who's just so brilliant. She said, she mentioned this woman. She said, Dolly Chu, Chugh, might be an amazing podcast guest. She's an NYU professor who wrote this book called The Person You Mean to Be. So check that out, guys, if you're interested. Again, there's people that speak on this better than we ever could. And she said her philosophy is asking people literally if they're willing to hear your perspective or what you've seen and learn. If they engage in that, great. They're worth your energy engaging. If they don't engage, then you can at least signal to vulnerable parties, if present, that you won't be a party to whatever offensive or untrue thing they're spouting. So you can either be in dialogue or at minimum be a boundary setter to unacceptable behavior. She says we have to meet people we love in our love state. We can't bring people forward if we shame or shut down or argue, but we can also just straight set boundaries and refuse to tolerate offensive or violent or oppressive behavior and then keep our integrity in a relationship. And she's like, of course, all this is easier said than done, but listen, there are family members that you can be like, hey, I just want to sit down and can we like watch this documentary? Can we watch the 13th? Can we read some stuff together? Can you see where I'm coming from? Sometimes they won't engage at all. Sometimes people have a literal set of alternative facts from you. They are watching different news. They're consuming different things. We talked this before. They are refusing to. And I think that's when you have to set those boundaries and hope they come around, and you can't just bang your head against the wall. She was like, I have a friend whose family has legit been torn apart. You know, they're also unkind, unsupportive people. And that's why we have our chosen families too. And then like Kate jumped in and was like, chosen family for the win. Like it was just like a moment. Like Kate. It just was a good conversation about the struggles of family and politics. So those are some tips from some of my other friends. And my piece of advice is the support group of people that feel the same as you. So, I mean, obviously we're in this group chat. I have a few like this where we're all supporting each other. People have these crazy parents, and find those people that are dealing with what you're dealing with at Thanksgiving or at Christmas. Find those people that share your belief system, that have families that don't, that are really struggling with this, and make sure you're texting with them, check in with them, have those sounding boards and those people to vent to and to feel your pain in every area of life. You know what I mean? Like the support is so important. So reach out to those people, to have a pep talk with each other before you go home. You know, if you need to get up and leave the Thanksgiving table and I say, I can't engage in this anymore, this is not healthy for me, and you need to leave and you need to go take a walk in the woods and talk to them, you know, or go scream or whatever it is, like the support system I think is important.
Yeah. And I think that you guys should all feel empowered to set boundaries. You're adults. And I think that it is realistic to say to somebody, you might not agree with me, but I think that you love me and you think I'm a rational person. And so please respect that I don't want to talk about this. If that's where we're at, if we can't even discuss this, if you're past the point of watching the documentary or having the constructive criticisms, because I think that we've had those conversations at this point, and you don't have to go home. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be around it. And you are well within your right to say, these are my boundaries and I don't want to talk about this stuff. And there's nothing wrong or overly emotional or sensitive about that. There's only so many times you can say that to somebody. You can't control somebody else's reactions. You can only control your own behavior. So that is what you're in control of. So feel empowered to not go or to ask for, you know, silence at this time.
Yeah. And I mean, if you really want to get into it with them, I think a helpful question is, how do you think your life is going to change, right? A lot of people just say it's money, it's taxes. Most people are not going to be affected that much. I don't want to pay more taxes. We pay a shit ton in taxes. I don't want to pay any more. I'm still going to vote for Biden. You know what I mean? So like that being said, I know a lot of people are money focused. That's all they care about. They care about their money. They care about their portfolio. Okay. If that's how your dad feels, you know, that's how he feels. But I think a good thing is like, what do you think exactly is going to change? Because were you doing fine during 8 years of Obama? Like, what are you so scared of? Mm-hmm. I just feel like they've been ingesting a lot of this propaganda. And it's like, we've had Democratic presidents so much. Like, why was your life so bad? What are you scared of? Mm-hmm. You know, and not saying it in an accusatory tone, but also trying to hear where they're coming from, because you might get a perspective that you didn't know, in which case you have more knowledge, and knowledge is power. And the approach is important. You know, I have people come at me in the craziest ways in my DMs, attacking me, cursing me out, putting words in my mouth. I'm never going to listen to that. That's not how you get through to somebody. And I also have people that come at me with an opposing viewpoint and tell me where they're coming from, and we have productive conversations. It happens. You know, I've had people come to me and be like, I see you posting about defunding the police. My husband is a cop, and he is someone that hates to see what's happening in this country with police brutality and the disproportionate killing of Black people. But I am worried about his safety when he goes to work every day, because I feel like he has a target on his back. And we had a conversation about it. On the flip side, having conversations with a friend that's Black about how they're fearing for their lives. Like, these things are a lot of it's rooted in fear. And we can often understand people a little bit better if we know what their fears are. And like I said, the approach is key. So that is going to wrap this up. We're going to move on.
So thanks guys for being here. We have a really fun game.
In the spirit of
things turning around.
Yes. In the spirit of Pennsylvania and Georgia that took a turn.
Pennsylvania, thank you so much. Allegheny County, no one had even heard that name before, but that's where I grew up, Allegheny County in Pittsburgh, which is a very...
Fulton County in Georgia.
A very blue-collar town. It's a steel town. It's not a place that you would expect to go Democratic. I said we're going to stop talking about the election, and here I am again. Whatever. I just, I'm proud to be from Pennsylvania. So that's great.
Yeah. Same with spending 10 years in Georgia, in Fulton County. Georgia went blue, and I didn't know that was my sexual fantasy until this election cycle. So, and shout out to Stacey Abrams again, person of the week. Okay, we're getting into it. Okay. We're doing, I call it That Took a Turn.
I say This Took a Turn, which is what it's labeled as in our email. I don't know what it's called. All right, whatever. I call it This Took a Turn. You say That Took a Turn.
Either way, we're about to take some turns.
Potato.
Yes. Okay. So these are our listeners' email submissions of situations, mostly dating, sex related, that took a turn. Do you want to kick it off?
Yes, I do. Okay. I had gone on a first date with this guy and it went pretty well. Later that week, he invited me over to his place. We were making out and things were getting pretty steamy when he suddenly stops and says, "Oh, by the way, I'm a communist." What? Safe to say I dipped shortly after.
Communist, not socialist, not anarchist.
Do those exist? Like
what is the, where do you...
Russia?
Okay.
It's a weird thing to stop. I think she misheard him.
Oh, by the way.
Where he is there a world where he didn't say that?
Oh, by the way, I'm going to come in this.
Ooh.
You misheard him, girl. No, I don't know. But that took a turn.
I think you misheard him.
Okay. One night I was sleeping with this guy and I was on top doing what I do best. And I like to be choked. He started to choke me. And next thing I know, he's squeezing so hard that I think I'm going to black out or die. Okay. We need a safe word here.
My vibe.
We need a safe word. He stops eventually and suggests we do 69. So I'm like, okay, this will be better than him choking me out. Nope. He starts out with me on top. Then he flips us over where he is on top of me. And I'm getting his balls slapping me in the face the entire time. I kept wishing it was over the whole time because, well, that took a turn.
Okay. That guy wants to fuck a dead person. That's what that guy's fetish is. He is a necrophiliac.
Can you imagine? Who do we talk about with 69? The guy on top.
I don't know. Who is out here wanting that?
The more I think about it, I would never. A guy's just on top of you.
How do you breathe? How do you get any range of motion? There's ball sack on your head. There's a huge gut on your forehead. I don't understand how anybody does this.
No,
okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I was seeing a guy for like 6 months or so and things seemed to be going pretty well. We would hang out and go on dates regularly. Sex was great. He loved hanging out with my friends and I loved hanging out with his, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so that's going great. We hadn't really talked about where we stood in regards to how serious this was, but we were literally always together, so I didn't think much of it. One day when he was over, he says to me, "I really want to ask your roommate out to dinner," while we were having sex.
Insane.
I am shook. I didn't read this ahead of time. It's fucking wild.
Oh, this is the first you're seeing this?
I like to surprise myself.
Okay.
This man was literally inside of me and had the audacity to tell me he wants to date my roommate. I was so blown away. I literally just stared at him and he continues to say, "I'm sorry, that was just bad timing, but I think she's so cute and I would love to go out with her."
What?
After telling him to leave, I obviously told my roommate, who proceeded to throw a drink on him the next time we saw him at a bar. This is so shocking. I almost don't believe it, but I believe it.
This
isn't so far in the realm of because I just think men are fucking crazy. And maybe this guy is just like, "Oh, she's so cool and casual about things. She never asked me what we are, so we're nothing."
I can't comprehend this. I've never in my life heard of this. You are penetrating someone. You ask if you can take their friend, their best friend, their roommate out.
Penetrating. If we're in the drive-through at McDonald's, I don't want to hear this from you. What are you talking about, my roommate?
I can't get over that one. True or false, but we're just going to,
I'm gonna go true.
We're going to believe it. Okay. Next email. "I brought home this guy from a bar pre-COVID. We're hooking up, fooling around, goes down on me instantly, was going all good. When everything was said and done, he looked up at me and said I reminded him of his friend. Weird, but all right. I said, as long as it's a good thing. He started to bawl his eyes out and told me his friend was dead." I asked him how long ago this happened, thinking it was maybe recent. He replied with, "It was over 5 years ago. This guy went down on me for an hour and then told me I looked like his dead friend. I didn't know how to react."
Girl, I'm as uncomfortable as you are.
He sobbed while washing his face in the sink, continuing to tell me more about it. I gave him some CBD oil and walked him out of my house. We obviously never hung out again. I love that she was like, here, take this feels.
I like that she gave him a gift. She's like, please go. Okay, listen, I'm not laughing because his friend died.
Of course not.
Because it was 5 years ago. It's an odd thing to bring up and have it be half a decade ago and be crying into my pussy about it.
I can understand. Doesn't matter how long ago the friend died. I can understand it being triggering. If someone looks just like your friend that passed away, that's a traumatic incident. Don't go down on them. Don't go out with them. If that's going to be triggering to you, why are you trying to eat them out?
That's fair. I'm sorry for my insensitivity. About
No, I'm just saying, like, why did he take it there? He should have been like, whoa, 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 looks too much like Jennifer. I can't go there.
So I'm sorry, girl.
What's your favorite one?
Okay. Started dating someone in my friend group and it was going really well. Then a couple months into dating, he started acting really weird and distant. So the next time I saw him in person, I asked what was going on. And he said he had just found out that he had gotten a previous one-night stand pregnant, ... with twins. Double babies.
Yeah.
We actually tried to work through things for a few months. I was being young and dumb for staying with him. I know. I don't think you were dumb.
Yeah,
but ultimately we broke up because he refused to tell the baby mama that he was dating someone else. And he had other responsibilities that he needed to prioritize. So us dating made things entirely too complicated. Okay. I found out the ending of the story from our friend after we broke up. He was in the room during the birth and all that jazz and went into full dad mode for these kids afterwards. Honestly, good for him. But not sure you know this. With twins, you can't get a paternity test until after they're born. So paternity test results came back a week later and the twins were not his. Oh. I repeat, the fucking twins were not his. There were many more details of this story, obviously, but try to sum it up for you guys. Hope this nightmare was entertaining for you. Hit me up with any questions.
That is insane. That twins. Sucks for that guy.
I can't. I want to know whose twins were those.
Whose twins? That is nuts.
Can you imagine you like break up with this girl that you like and you like change your whole life and you try to like raise these kids and then you find out you are not the father.
You are the father of 2 kids, not just 1 but 2. Damn.
I love that she wrote, I repeat, the fucking twins.
I know.
I lost it.
Best of luck to that family. Okay. I was talking to my man, who's not my man, about how years ago he hooked up with my best friend, who is now my roommate. It was a drunken hookup years before we were even really friends, so it's all good. We were casually talking and teasing each other about it when he just slyly slid in, haha, yeah, and what's even worse is that we're cousins. Well, that took a backwoods banjo playing turn I was not expecting. He assured me that they really are only like 2nd or 3rd cousins by marriage. So it's not that weird, right? Right?
If it's not that weird, don't bring it up. Why'd you even tell me? This is crazy. He's like, we're cousins. But no. It's not even like that. It's not even like, it's like, why did you tell me to begin with?
I can't live.
Okay, I'm so excited to read this too. I can't hype it enough. Heard there was a call for this took a turn, so here we are. I've been hooking up with my best guy friend of 12 years. Looking back, a terrible choice. For 4 months. Everything was great. We'd had fun nights out with our friends. We got drunk. We'd curl up in bed. We'd talk late into the night. We'd hook up. I started catching feels and was upfront about it. We decided to remain just friends without complicating or damaging the friendship. What could possibly go wrong? One night he asked me to come over, and like a dumb bitch, I went, you girls are too hard on yourselves. We got pretty cozy and decided to spend the night together. I was getting undressed in his bedroom, and upon closing the door, noticed there was a full-on vision board of how to get his ex back.
No!
Plastered to the entire door, complete with affirmations on how to win her over and photo collages of them. And then she writes, nothing humbles you like an ex-girlfriend vision board when you're half naked.
No!
Bitch, can you imagine a vision board with affirmations about another woman in his bedroom?
First of all, the vision board alone is crazy.
I wish she took pictures.
The how to get your ex back vision board is insane. If we had a picture,
What
oh
a
my
gem.
gosh. Girl, go back.
Please send us a picture.
We need the receipt.
We found this email like 2 seconds before we started recording. What a gem. Oh, I was so excited to read this too.
Oh my God. Well, we'll end it on this one. It's short and sweet. when I thought I had an STD, but turns out I was 7 months pregnant. Yeah, that took a turn.
What? What kind of STD makes your stomach expand, makes you gain 50 pounds, and your whole body changes?
I can't.
She's
So
like, my nipples are
don't
leaking.
always
It's an
have
STD.
to, like, you know, there's like, I didn't know I was pregnant. You know, like your body doesn't necessarily have to look like you're like, I don't know. Everybody's different. But
Shit changes.
what? I gotta know too. What STD? Let's take weight loss out of it. What STD was it that you thought you had and you turned out to be pregnant? What?
You're throwing up every morning. Your nipples are leaking, and she's like, "It's herpes."
Right. Because STDs are like something's going on down there. Stuff that doesn't happen when you're pregnant. Those are two different sets of symptoms.
100%.
Symptoms. I mean, pregnancy's not a disease. Well, I mean, depends on how you look. I'm kidding.
She could have been fucking without a condom all that time.
All right, 7 months.
Guys,
Listen,
see
no
a doctor.
judgment. Little bit of judgment.
Little bit of judgment. We're not judging. We're kind of judging. But I hope that you went to some birthing classes and that your kid's okay.
And I hope you know who the dad is, unlike that girl with the twins.
I repeat, the twins were not his.
All right, guys, that took a turn, quite like the election. Want to again say thank you to John King for everything. Biden-Harris 2020. We thank you guys. I thank everybody that was chatting with me last week. We love all of you guys so much. Your submissions, everything. We hope you guys are self-caring. How else can I wrap this episode? I don't know. Claire and Dale, best of luck.
And we have a great bonus episode coming out on Thursday about how to spice up your relationship.
Oh, so good.
I love this episode. I really love the bonus episode. So I'm very
a lot of us
very
this
excited.
week.
Yeah. Can you guys handle it?
If you're hate listening, you're extra
Thank
mad
you
this week.
Thank you for that.
All right, guys, you know where to find us. girlsgottaeatpodcast.com. Stay tuned for the ticket announcement on the holiday show on December 13th. Follow us on Instagram at Girls Gotta Eat Podcast, Ash Hess, and Raina.Greenberg. Also, website for the merch. You guys have been scooping up the merch. Keep doing so. We'll let you know about holiday deadlines when they occur. Girls_Gotta Eat on Twitter and youtube.com/Girls Gotta Eat. And we'll talk to you on Thursday.
Yeah. Have a good first half of your week, guys.
Bye.